Time recording is at the heart of the TallyPro system, and the ease by which time can be entered by all levels of staff is important. There are 3 ways to enter time into the system, which we will cover in detail. The most common way is via a weekly timesheet. The TallyPro weekly timesheet view will be immediately recognisable, as it is similar to most paper or spreadsheet-based systems. The weekly timesheet view can be launched from the Postings navigation pane. The exact columns on the grid depend on the system configuration. This example shows clients and then only the jobs for the selected client. Other views can show only jobs or only the jobs from the My Jobs collection. This example also shows subsidiary codes but not work types. Again, the system can be configured to be as powerful or as simple as required. The existing data can be sorted by clicking on each column header, and the daily totals are always shown at the foot of the grid. A new posting line is created by clicking in the top left cell of the grid, marked "Click here to add new." In this example, a client can be selected from a drop-down list. If the client cannot be found or the list is too large, the form assistant can provide advanced search and selection. Once selected, the jobs for that client are shown, allowing selection of the exact job for posting. If a default subsidiary code is specified for the job, this will be displayed, or a code can be selected from the drop-down. An optional default memo can be entered. This memo will apply to all daily postings on this row. Finally, the hours spent can be entered against 1 or more days in the week. Time can be entered as hours and fractions, or as hours and minutes. Pressing Enter or the down arrow will accept the posting and it will be transferred to the grid. It should be noted that whilst we've used the mouse for this demonstration, the postings can be performed completely via the keyboard by clicking Tab to advance along the row and the F4 function key to activate the drop-down list. If specific memos are required against each day's postings, this can be done without having to post 5 different rows. Simply click on the grey area at the right of each cell and enter a memo for that day. Cells with specific memos are highlighted in red. The memo can be viewed by placing the mouse over the cell. We will now add holiday for the last 3 days of the week and our timesheet is complete. Alterations can however be made at all times. Finally, the timesheet must be submitted by clicking on the Review and Submit button. This presents a summary of the postings grouped by client. If not correct, the Edit Postings button will take you back to the postings grid. If correct, the summary can be exported to an Excel spreadsheet or printed for formal approval before the Submit button is clicked. The timesheet will be passed through various validation routines, for example, minimum number of hours, before being submitted. After submission, the postings grid is cleared and the week has been incremented. To avoid having to select clients and jobs again for the new week, the Populate Timesheet button can be clicked to allow the automatic population from either the My Jobs listing or from the past 1 to 4 weeks postings. As most employees tend to work on many of the same jobs from week to week, this saves an enormous amount of time and has proved to be extremely popular with our users. The postings grid is now ready for the input of the next week. The second method of posting time is the ad hoc posting routine. This can be used for simple date-based time entry or if a posting has been missed from a previously submitted weekly timesheet. The posting routine is similar to the weekly timesheets other than the date is entered first and then the client, job, subsidiary code data is selected, followed by the memo and the hours. As mentioned previously, this method may be more relevant for less regular postings, for example monthly timesheets, or where postings have been omitted from a previous weekly timesheet. The submission process is identical to the weekly timesheets. The third method of entering time is by clicking on the stopwatch icon on the main toolbar. This is useful for recording phone calls or other immediate items. This facility is only available if the system date is within the current weekly timesheet date range. Clicking on the stopwatch will launch the Today page with a new row activated with the system time. The client job subsidiary code data can be selected and the memo entered at any time before the activity is stopped. At the end of the activity, the stop button on the toolbar can be clicked and the time elapsed will be displayed in the hours column. This, however, can be altered. Once stopped, a new stopwatch row can be activated by clicking on the Start button. The entries can be saved or posted by clicking on the Post button, whereby the items will be transferred to the user's weekly timesheet.